So if you've ever thought about starting a YouTube channel to fuel an online business, to actually showcase your skill set to the world, this video is for you, where I chat to Alessia Lugoboni, who has managed to grow a multiple six-figure online business on teaching ballet on YouTube. Be sure to listen carefully throughout this whole interview as she drops nuggets of gold, how they went from strength to strength with their YouTube channel, but not actually having a strategy off the bat, and what she would do today if she hit the reset button and started something all over again. So I'm going to leave you now with the interview with Alessia. Hope you enjoy. So Alessia Lugoboni, thank you very much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm very good. Hi, Tim. Happy to be here.
Amazing. Where are you calling in from today?
Well, I'm over in Verona at the moment. It's my hometown. I was born here, even though back in the days I left it to pursue my career and just said, bye Italy, see you later Italy. And now I'm back here.
Now you're back. Is this for Christmas or just for a little bit of traveling?
This is for a very long holiday. So we decided, Jacopo and I, which is my husband, that after we put together our online business, that we didn't need to live anywhere in specific. So because family is here, both our families are over in Italy, it would have been a very good thing to be around here and to actually enjoy a little bit of time together, especially after 20 years away. Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Well, hopefully we'll get into a little bit of your story today. So, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate your time. I know it's precious. The sort of main aim of this call is really just to have a chat about you, your story, both yourself and Jacopo building an online business or online businesses now. Let's go. I mean, if anyone is watching this and they're interested in starting an online business or have started an online business, let's talk about your journey. What was your background before you even started the online business bit?
All right. So funny enough, as I said, I left Italy, I left home to pursue my career. And that career was a ballerina. I wanted to be a ballerina. I wanted to be a ballet dancer. And there was nothing around here. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to bite the bullet and just do whatever it takes to actually become one. So I left when I was about 15. I went to train over to UK. I was at English National Ballet School for about a year. And then after that, it was an ongoing traveling to the next job. So I've been to Germany. And then I was in New Zealand for 7 years. And then while I was in New Zealand, traveling around like crazy around the whole world, to then meet Jacopo at some point over in New Zealand, which has nothing to do with the ballet, which is a very good thing. And then that's why we're still together. He was in visual effects, but we bonded. We wanted to stay together, and then we decided to come back home. Come back home was actually back to London. So for us, it was a very nice way to say, okay, where can we both work? Me as a ballerina, you as a visual effect artist. Let's move to London. That's where we can both enjoy our life, make money. Jacopo said, I'm going to have a great career in visual effects. I said, I'm going to have a great career as a ballerina. I need to question myself every single time because, as an artist, you're never finished learning and we always want to push for more. And funny enough, that great career turned into, questioning myself, which was very nice. But the moment when we moved to London, Jacopo, I always saw him as having it easy. So he was very, he was wanted for his skills. He was very well paid. And at the same time, I wasn't. I had to start over again. I had to audition again. I had to audition even for the same people I worked for. Which, same choreographer said, but we've been in same shows and you're asking me to audition again. And I said, okay, I wasn't getting as many jobs as I hoped for, even though I had an incredible career over in London as well. I performed in the West End and all that. But there was always that struggle. I think it's always been my thing, the struggle. It's always elbowing through people and trying to show that I could do it. And I said, okay, I cannot give what I can through my dance career. Why don't I start teaching? So at least whatever I can share, I'm not going to waste time. That's one thing of mine. It's like, I don't like wasting time. I don't like wasting skills that I have gained. I'm just going to share whatever I've learned throughout. So I'm going to make the next ballerina happy. I'm going to give everything that I have to the next ballerina. So I said, it's okay. I'm going to, it's going to be easy enough to go and teach somewhere. I've got a very good curriculum. I've been a soloist. I've been doing massive roles in the ballet world, and absolutely incredible. And even teaching turned out to be one of the hardest thing ever. Why? Because people didn't want someone that didn't have a teaching certificate, like a piece of paper that said that I could teach, even though I was ballet mistress at some point. It was a very weird politics, so I couldn't understand it. I couldn't get a job even as an assistant. And I said, but I have all these skills. I have years and years. I'm talking about 20 odd years of experience in what I did. And I'm just eager to share it. The only thing I could get was a few covers for other teachers and few jobs here and there. And I said, okay. I said, Jacopo, no one is valuing what I do, because he said, you need to value yourself. I said, but no one is valuing what I have and what I can share. And that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to hire a studio and I'm going to have my own classes. I'm sure people will come to my classes because I can teach to other dancers that need to work, or they need to get prepared for auditions. I can do workshops for young dancers if they want to come and learn from a real ballerina. I'm the real deal. I can do this.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, we're in London. Funny enough, I couldn't find a studio that would hire me. I couldn't find a studio to hire, so I would spend my own money to actually rent it out. And at one point I said, why does it have to be so difficult to give? I cannot believe that it's so difficult to give. And from a ballerina to elbowing around to a very unsuccessful teacher at that point in London. No one wanted me. I felt so bad. It's like, no one wants me. To the point of saying, am I really worth it? Have I got something to give or nothing at all? I can't even find anything. And Jacopo said, I started crying. I promise you, Tim, I started crying because I said, I wasted years. That was my feeling. I wasted years in this career that is not giving me anything back. I wasted all this time and I've got all this knowledge and I can't give it back. It's such a waste of everything. And Jacopo said, but I'm in the digital world. I do things on, it's not really online, but I do things where I know they go to cinema and I make them pretty. And there is this whole digital world that you don't know about, because I'm not digital at all. I have to be honest. He did the whole setup here. So thank you to my husband. And he said, why don't we do, you need a hobby. You're obviously frustrated. There's things that are not going well. But you need to get your mind off things, and you need to find something that will give you that fulfillment. So why don't we try you teaching online? We open a YouTube channel, and you just teach whatever you want, whatever you have, whatever you want to give online. You just give it out. And my reaction was, I think this is one of the most stupidest idea you've ever come out with. How can I possibly teach ballet online? How can I possibly be away from people and give them correction when the whole soul and, it's being in the same room with the whole teacher? And I said, okay, let's try it. I have nothing to lose. I literally have nothing on me. I have nothing to lose. I still think it's a stupid idea, but I'm not going to dismiss it. Let's try it. And
Amazing.
I think that was one of the best decisions I ever made by just listening to my husband.
Wow. So that's an amazing story. And there's lots to unpack in there. I mean, I'd love to go deeper on some of that. But I mean, so you've traveled the world, you've danced on big stages. You're an artist in your own right, 20 plus years of dancing. And then you wanted to try and teach, but then you couldn't actually get people in front of you. So it sounded like a good match with your husband, who has the tech skills, and then yourself, who has the creative dancing skills, that you decided to start a YouTube channel. Wow.
Correct.
And the rest is history, really, because tell me about obviously you thought it was a bad idea at the time. And what year are we talking here? How many years ago was this?
This is 2016.
Okay.
So 2016
so a little while ago, yeah.
was the time that he had this great idea, because he couldn't, he said, I can't see you like this anymore. I can't hear it. Like,
you've got stuff to share with the world. Okay.
Yeah.
So you started a YouTube channel. I doubt there was that many other ballet teachers on YouTube at the time, was there? Or
there were a few, and I think there were not that many. It wasn't something that, again, I think YouTube was just started growing, or it was already there, but people did not know what it was possible to do with it. So we went around and I said, okay, let's have a look and let's see if there is other channels or other people that are sharing something. It doesn't have to be just dance, but they do, I don't know, any physical activities,
like
any
yoga
fitness
channels
or
yoga
channels like that. And it was a massive discovery, because I said, oh, so people do it. There were a couple of the dancers that decided to share the story and their classes online as well. I said, oh, that's interesting. And so I said, okay, if they can do it, I can definitely do it as well. So what can I... At that point, I switched and I said, okay, what if I opened my own YouTube channel? What would I want to share? How can I start? There was obviously fear. There was obviously fear of judgment from anything that was from people in the ballet world. That was the very first thing that came into mind. It's like, if I was judged throughout my whole career of what I was doing, how I was doing things, they're definitely gonna judge on how I'm doing certain things now. So that was the back of my head. What if I fail? You start things like this start in your mind. But then one stronger voice said, do you remember back in the days when you had all those questions? You were a young dancer and you had all those questions, and your parents had absolutely no idea what to do, because they didn't come from a dance background, but they just did their best. And I had, as a young student, had questions, and there wasn't videos. And we the only thing I could do was to save up money to go and buy video cassettes to the only store that sold CDs. They were quite expensive, and video cassettes that they had of ballet, and they had about 10 of those, and they were about $100 each. And so I had to save up money, because it was something out of this world, and I had to go and find books. So that's the only thing I had. I was trying to copy from books, and I was trying to copy from the video cassette I spent my money on, because I was a big saver. And I said, okay, there's millions of questions that I have. So I'm gonna unfold of those. So I'm gonna start giving whatever my young self wanted. If I had a ballerina at hand, at my fingertips, what would I ask her? What would I unfold? What would I say about that career? Whatever it was, I said, let's share it. But funny enough, whenever you're thinking about giving something like this, you just start sharing. I think that was the reason why Lazy Dancer Tips channel became so successful. It's because I was genuine and genuinely giving out as much as I could to my younger self. And even though I thought I was talking to young dancers, it turned out that I was talking to my real myself now. So I started attracting all these adult dancers, adults that they've never done ballet in their life, or they said, I wanted to start but life got in the way, or my parents couldn't afford it, or they told me I didn't have the body. I got told to do something completely different because you fill in the blanks. That it surprised me. It surprised me what kind of gift I could give to all those young people inside. You know, everyone has got a child inside, to actually fulfill that dream that was never been fulfilled. It was still in the drawer, and I said, okay, this is something I never knew I could give, so I'm gonna give that dream to people that never could fulfill it.
Amazing. So it's basically like the channel you wish you'd had, or the resource you wished you'd had as you were growing up. So you're just answering and unpacking all those questions that you have, which is typically, it tends to be the best way, is just sharing your knowledge, and other people will get attracted to your content. But yeah, one of the things I love about Lazy Dancer Tips is if you have, I think you say, if you have a body, you can dance, or something like that. Is that right?
Correct.
Is that what you say? Basically, anyone. You don't have to be an elite dancer, because that was your background. And I think that was one of the reasons why you sort of came away from the elite dancing to try and share your knowledge and your skills to the masses, right?
Correct.
To try and include everyone.
Also because there was something that happened throughout my career. I was always told that I didn't have the body. I didn't have the perfect feet. I didn't have the perfect leg. I have scoliosis. Therefore, it was a problem. It wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect. But I thought, but I really want to do it. So there was always that drive in me that I said, it doesn't matter how many times people say no to me. I think that's something that it's one of my superpowers. The more you say no to me, the more I'm going to do my best to actually succeed, to not 100%, way more. So the reason why when I say if you have a body, you can dance is because I went through the same. I had people telling me, no, you can't do it because of a series of reasons. And I just completely ignore it. So I said, if I could do it, I'm sure other people got told no, but maybe they weren't strong enough to fight whoever was in front of them. They caved in and they said, I'm just going to give up because it's only for the elite. But I didn't want to hear a no. So I just kept going. And so I wanted to give that strength to anyone out there that needed that. So that needed to hear, it don't need to be perfect. You just need to learn the skills, and you need to learn how to best express yourself with the tools that you have. So even if you don't have the resources, this is something that we use in business as well. Even if you don't have the resources, be resourceful and understand where your superpowers are, because I've always been teeny. I never had the perfect body, but I was bloody good at certain things like jumping on point, and being an artist, because I knew I could get people from the audience so involved in what I was doing that they couldn't get my eyes off what I was doing. And so I wanted to teach others that everyone has got a superpower, and everyone has got something about themselves in their body within them that they can share with the world. Even if the elite dinosaurs, that's what I call them, say you can't do it because there is a list of things that you should have, otherwise you cannot do ballet. Something like that.
Well, yeah, huge congratulations for like breaking the mold and doing something different and sharing it to the world. Like, if someone's listening to this and they have a skill, not necessarily ballet or dancing or anything like that, they have a skill that they want to share to the world. Let's talk a little bit about the fear, because you mentioned about fear of putting yourself out there, putting your content out there. How did you cope with that? How did you get over that? Because obviously you have a thriving YouTube channel now. How did you actually overcome the obstacle of fear right at the very start?
I think it took time. It took quite a lot of time to get over that fear. It took a lot of time to talk myself into doing what I needed to do. And I practiced. I think what I did is I practiced a lot, and I did it anyways. I mean, if I look at the videos that I put out at the very beginning, I can't look at them now. They're I find them embarrassing. I couldn't put two words together, and I still remember the amount of hours that Jacopo had to spend in front of the computer editing, and every edit was so tight because he had to cut out all the pauses that I actually made while I was talking. Now no one stops me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think it was that fear stopped the moment I received the very first comment, the very first person that said something like, you changed my life, or thank you for putting this out there. Thank you for creating a channel for people like us that didn't have the possibility to do ballet. So the moment that you receive comments from others, and the moment that you understand that what you're doing is not for yourself anymore, it is for others, the point of view changes, the perspective changes. You stop being worried about the mistakes. You stop being worried about people judging you, because, by the way, there is always going to be people that, the haters, the haters that are going to hate, the people that are going to be judging you. But maybe it is their own problem, not mine. What I decided and what I turned myself into was it's not about me anymore. It's not about my fears anymore. It's about what I can do for others. So the people in front of me become the important ones. So start worrying about all these mistakes and just do everything possible to help whoever is out there. So that's it. Go for it. But sometimes the fears come back, and you go, should I? Especially at the beginning. At the beginning is, am I saying the right thing? Are people gonna judge? What are they gonna think about me? And then you just forget about those. You put them on a side. You go, there's nothing I can do about those comments. There's nothing I can do about what they're gonna think. What I can worry about is, how do I create an environment, a community where people are going to be happy and they're going to succeed. So start worrying about you and start worrying about what you can give to these people. Yeah.
I totally agree. That's so powerful when you stop focusing inwardly and you focus outwardly on the people that you're helping, and then focus on getting them results. That's huge. You mentioned, like, to getting over the fear, you just did it, you practice and repetition. I think this is it's a specific skill to look into a camera, to be, I think you turned your whole flat in London into a studio, didn't you, or something? And then it was just part of being yourself in that moment and just dancing to a camera. And you obviously had the great support of your husband, who was doing all the tech behind it. So I think that's a fantastic story. But it's the skill that people, they want the results now, but it's the skill of teaching and delivering online that people, they don't tend to appreciate. You just have to do it and repeat and get better.
Do it and repeat it. And there is something else. Like it was very interesting to learn. Number one, to understand that you can put a name to that camera. It's not a camera anymore. It's people that watch you. And there is someone out there on the other side that is literally just listening to you and watch you, and can be inspired. There is something maybe that they're waiting for, something for you to say that is going to change the course of their life. So that is the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
And also the way you deliver something. How can you be creative? How can you engage with someone? What are they looking for? You know, that those are all, it's a skill that you learn. It's a way to tell a story, and it's a way to connect. Remember, whenever you're telling a story, it's about what can people learn from that story. It's never about you. It's about what you can deliver and the teaching moment that you can have through that story. So even if you're telling a story about you, it's never really about you. You need to connect at the same level, in the same place where they are at. That's something very important that I've learned, because you can be the most incredible ballerina, dancer, whatever out there, and you can show off about whatever you can do. You can maybe wrap your leg around your neck, and people are going to go, but I don't have what you have. Yeah. So what? You know, you're incredible, you're perfect.
Relatable, yeah.
So what is the story that is going to make them feel just like you? What is the story that is going to make Superman the normal guy? What is your kryptonite? Share about your kryptonite. I don't care about your superpowers.
Yeah, that was very powerful. Yeah. Let's talk about the first few years on YouTube. We've been talking about like delivering and teaching online. YouTube is it's a big beast. It's a different beast to most. I see it as a search engine, and I'm sure there was strategy when you decided, hey, let's go all in on YouTube. Because I think the first time I met you quite a few years ago, it was at one of the workshops in London. I think you'd just come upstairs from a coffee shop, and I think you said, oh, somebody recognized me in the coffee shop and said, hey, hello, I watch you on YouTube. That to me was like a big wow. You know, the power of YouTube is massive and far reaching. But what were the sort of early days you both experienced creating content for YouTube, getting better at your craft, but what sort of results did you experience, say like for the first 6 months or year on YouTube, and what was it what you expected? Was it easier, harder? If anyone's looking at, I might start a business using YouTube, what sort of advice could you give from your experiences?
I'd love to, okay, I'm usually the kind of party pooper person, all right? So I'm going to tell you all the bad things first and then tell you everything that is going to be worth doing.
Yeah, go for it.
But like anything, and that's something that I've learned even to become a ballet dancer, to do anything well, you need to stick to it, and you need to fail, and you need to pick yourself up and then learn from your failure and keep on learning new skills. And did I say keep it? And keep it. Yep. You got to practice, because even if you're going to go on stage and you've been practicing for 6 weeks, you still don't have that confidence, and you're still gonna make mistakes, and you're still gonna fall on your butt. Been there, done that. Same thing with a YouTube channel. All right, so when we first started, we thought, you know, Jacopo said, yeah, it's gonna work. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to take absolutely no time. We're going to make, you know, the most incredible videos, and we're going to live off the ad revenue because that's how it works. We're going to make millions because it's going to have millions of views. Yeah, well, it didn't kind of go down that way. Also because even now with all the, if you think about the ad revenue, it's peanuts. And the very first, I'm still laughing because I think it's a very good memory, and it's a very good way to start and now laugh at it. Especially when you're making multiple six figures a year and you go, okay, so that's where we started. It's always important to remember where you started. Our very first YouTube check, I think it was something like 0.25 cents. And
Wow.
we looked at each other after months of work and said, what the heck are we doing this for again? So I know, I'm laughing. But I think at first you go, what am I doing this for again? Then you still don't know all the strategies. And I'm glad we actually genuinely started giving, and we understood where we struggled or what wasn't going to work. And the fact also that I'm very the fact that I'm very proud of is that we started with a YouTube channel nicely. So we said, even if it's going to be a pet project, let's make it the best way we can. So all the titles, the thumbnails, the video recordings, Jacopo started studying and said, you need to do the video in a certain way. So yeah, you can do your workouts, and then we're going to do an intro and we're going to do an outro. So people understand that we're doing things properly and we do things seriously, and there has to be a consistency in it. He always loved, obviously coming from cinema, he wanted to do things well, and coming from the dance world where all the shows are very nicely prepared, everything is so tight and it has to work in a certain pipeline, in a certain way, we decided to do it well. Even if we knew that ad revenue was not going to actually give us the salary that we wanted within a certain amount of months. We kept it for about a year. We kept going at it, and the YouTube channel started growing. Just because it was very well thought. We didn't have any strategies. We only knew this strategy, and this is exactly what we did. But we kept it so well that people liked what we were doing. They subscribed, and the channel started growing, and the views started growing because, as I was saying in the beginning, we gave a lot. We gave so much. So after that, we figured that I'm sure there is a better way. I'm sure there is a different way. How the heck do we make things work for our YouTube channel? How do people survive? So we started saying maybe we need to do advertisement like deals with other companies. Maybe we need some, brand deals. So we started looking around with brand deals. We had a few brand deals, but it felt like we were working for someone else. And I said, if I decide to do this as my future business, or I don't want to work for someone else. I'm trying to get out. Like Jacopo was trying to get out of working for someone else. I didn't want to work for someone else either. This was our thing. Is how can we do that? And so we understood that there are strategies that they've got nothing to do with YouTube. But what I love about YouTube is, as you were saying, it is a search engine, so whatever you give, whatever you put out, how well you put it out is going to stay there and is going to solve someone's problem. Even if it is little, you need to solve someone's problem because they're obviously searching. They're searching for something specific, and you're going to show up there. It doesn't matter how old your video is, it's still going to solve whatever problem that person is having. We do have a video that has been out there for 6.5 years and has got almost 1 million views, and people are still loving it, and I'm still receiving comments on it, and it's still one of the videos that is pulling the most subscribers. So I said, okay, so on that side we're doing something good. We started without knowing. Now we know how to strategize on YouTube, but at least we started by giving. And so it doesn't matter what you do, and it does matter what you do, and it does matter how you put your videos together. It is important to keep on learning what the platform is asking you to do. And do it well. I think the most important thing is whatever project you do it well, especially on YouTube. So, don't know if you wanted to go down into how to strategize your
YouTube
channel?
I was just going to say, I mean, you initially went out and to try and get this massive ad revenue, and the ad revenue was really small. You're going to need millions and millions of views to actually get a decent ad check. So what was the big aha moment, and what was the sort of strategy that you put in place to actually build a business off the back of this channel? So the channel was growing fast. I'm not sure if you had any frame of reference if your channel was doing well or not. But in today's standards, your channel was growing fast. So what did you do to put on the back of this channel, or what strategies did you implement? Because you now have a multiple six-figure business year on year. How did you figure that out?
Well, we figured that I think after the very first 10K subscribers, we were still actually working. So Jacopo was in his job, and I was still auditioning and trying to get to get my shows going. I think there was a moment where we said, okay, there must be a different way. We need to study how to do it. And Jacopo usually was the one that said, I need to find the thing that is going to make it. And he came out one day, and I think he said, it's like, I think we need a funnel. I was like, what the heck is this thing? I was like, I don't know, mate. I've just figured, how to do a video, but people love what we do. Can we just not keep going? It's like, if we keep on going like this, we can keep creating videos for the rest of our lives and still have freaking pennies in our bank. So I said, okay, so there is this thing called funnel, and we didn't know how to put it together. We thought it was this massive, complicated thing, but it was a very, very simple concept where you're giving something out to your audience. You give, because that is the importance of YouTube, for example. YouTube stays there, you have your videos, you solve someone's problems, and maybe they watch something else. Maybe there is still nothing new, so-called call to action. What is the call to action? You can ask your person or your person, because you're always talking to one. I always think about talking to one person on the other side. Yeah. Maybe you're asking them to leave a comment. Maybe you are asking them to let you know how the workout was, or if there is anything that they having trouble with. And that was, I think, the click. It's like, oh, I need to ask them something if they're having any troubles. And more of the same questions came up. And I said, okay, that's very interesting. So how does this funnel work? And Jacopo, all proud, went, what you do is you give something else for free that is going to solve exactly those questions that they have. I said, oh, that's interesting. How do we do that? We didn't have specific software. Well, we did have another software back then, but then we changed it for one incredible one that we love, absolutely love, which is Kajabi. So we started learning about this new software where you could create your free guide to solve an extra problem, to resolve the questions that my people were having, and to give them another little resource, something that they could put into practice, another problem solver. I love that. So, oh, that's interesting. What do we do with that? So they give you in exchange their email address. So they come into your system, they come into your ecosystem, and they just live. Instead of, they are in your home. It's almost like inviting someone in your home, rather than being out and about on social media or on a YouTube. Because obviously, I didn't know back then, YouTube owns your audience. You don't have anything to do with them. So if YouTube one day decides to close everything, you're basically left with nothing. So I said, okay, so these people come into my home, aka the email list, and so they can be nurtured by you and give them something extra special, because now they're in your home. So rather than giving them a cup of teas, like I usually do, you just offer teas and bickies, you offer them the extra step, even if it is for free, to show them if your method really works, to show them who you are, to show them what you can do with your skills, and sharing them with them in a private, more intimate way. And that's something that we learned. So YouTube is great. We have a very good strategy now. So I still do videos where I give. And sometimes, most of the times now, because we are still coming out with videos, we offer that extra resource that is going to solve a specific problem. And then they come into my ecosystem and I offer them, it's not tea and Vicky, it is the another little step to achieve to get closer to their dreams.
Yeah. Wow, that's very cool. I mean, I'm all about systems and process, and you've just pretty much described the biggest system in any business. It's that nurturing the relationship, rather than trying to sell something straight off the bat. It's inviting people into your home. It's giving something in exchange for an email address. It's then giving, offering something low ticket, and as you go. So yeah, that's very cool how you had Jacopo learning all this sort of stuff and then implementing it. So talk to me about how you started seeing the results of putting this funnel in place using all the softwares and the systems, because I do see you guys on social. You're traveling a lot, you're eating out a lot, and your stuff is going on in the background. There's automations, there's triggers, there's emails getting sent out. So, and you mentioned Kajabi, which is the platform I love as well. What were your first sort of experiences with offering the more to your clients or to your subscribers to become your clients?
So it was interesting because at the very beginning, we both thought that the best way to offer something, they said, you build a membership, and people will come in, they will stay. It's going to be a recurrent revenue. And even then, we only had one product, which was probably the hardest thing to sell. It was the membership, because people, even if they come into your home, they come into your ecosystem, they get to know you, they're still not ready somehow to commit to a monthly payment, which is it's a very interesting way to see how a funnel can work. And people most of the time...
It's an ongoing commitment, right, isn't it?
So it's month
after month after month. So
correct. Yeah. So even if I just met you, I know that you are there. Some people just go, oh, hang on, you just want money from me every single month. Even if you've got the most beautiful membership ever and it's going to solve every single problem that I have in life, I'm still not going to commit every month. Which is, for me, but I've got everything there. That's exactly what I wanted. If I were younger. So it was, I kept creating courses. That was another no doing thing, but I felt that the more courses I created and chucked in a membership, the more people would come. And because the more I decided to, I said, but the more things and the more hours and the more courses I have in a membership, people are going to love it. But it wasn't the case. People got overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have created. And so rather than, we thought about this because it was, there's 7 years of automations. There is 7 years of figuring out, 7 years of yelling and screaming and me going, but are you sure? Because there is so much work in this. Totally worth it, I keep going, but it's totally worth it. There was something that we understood, that people still, even if they meet you, they still have to find a way to understand, even if they pay, if whatever you do is right, if it's right for them. So if you have something low ticket, if you have something even not so low ticket that they want to commit, somehow it's a very psychological thing. They say, I pay once and that's it. I don't owe you any more money. I don't owe you anything during the month. but I want something that is going to give me a result, and I want that result to be the best result that you can give me. So I decided to put few of my million of courses together, and I bundled them up to give them a specific outcome. That was my very first thing. So people come through our funnel, and they might be offered something very simple, or to say, hey, if you want to go from being a ballet lover to knowing exactly how to move around, this is the package for you. And it's not cheap. Some people are already committed and they say, oh, yeah, I want to do that. After that, we offer the membership. So there is a recurring revenue only after they've tested you out. That's something that like people want to test you out and want to see how you treat them after they've purchased. I've noticed most of the time I've purchased courses myself, and there have been times where I've been left there. It's like, okay, now you've given the money, okay, thank you very much, goodbye. But there is something I felt the need of having is to look after my people. So once, yes, you are on YouTube, you come through, you come into my home, I want to look after you. So whatever it takes, I'm going to nurture you, even if you've already paid. Not because I want you to buy something for something else from me, but because I want you to succeed. Because once you're with me, you have to put into practice everything that you've set yourself to do. So I get them into a community. Everyone that comes through a purchase, they are in a community and they cheer for each other. So they are even more committed. They are even more eager to learn. They support each other, and especially they understand that they are in a community where they're not going to be judged. So for me, understanding that people not only need a course to go through, but they need a group of people that they can talk to, and they can be supported by someone that is like-minded. They can share openly, and the things that they come out with is absolutely incredible, because they really do open up. So that was for me one of the, because Jacopo is all about the system, and I'm very much about the how can I help people. He's like
the human element.
Loves to. It is, but I'm more human. I'm very fluffy most of the time. So they say, okay, take a little bit of fluffiness out and put a little bit more of systems in there. I say, okay, I'll learn that, and we So perfect that was match. For me. Yeah, very perfect match. So for me, that was the most important thing of one, teaching my people to look after each other and to be supportive with each other, to the point that I'm not even needed in my own community anymore. They pretty much say, yes, Alessia, thank you very much for everything that you give us, but you can go now. It's like, we've got everything sorted. I'm like, I feel useless now. But I train them. I literally train them to look after themselves and to look after each other. You've worked yourself
out of a job.
Correct. So I still keep them very busy. We used to have in the membership, we used to do lots of live sessions. Well, lots. It was pre-recorded videos, and then whoever is in the membership, it was a live session a month, a workshop, something they could achieve throughout their journey.
Nice.
And fun enough, we figured that people love to do things in their own time. They like you being there, but because everyone is an adult, everyone has got their life, everyone has got their own way of living life. They said, you know what, I don't have time to commit to a live session every single month, even if we love it. I make them work pretty hard, even if they're adults, even if they've just started. You know, I need their soreness to continue for the rest of the month. Otherwise, I wouldn't be happy. But I said, how can I still, I said, okay, fine. So we stopped doing the live sessions as well, because people decided to do their things in their own time. But I still wanted to give them an element of community. I still wanted to give them an element of commitment. because that is the most important thing. So we started repurposing, but repurposing videos and content in a very, very different way, in a very smart way. Because as you were saying, yes, you see us going around and living our life and having everything automated. Sometimes if it might seem that we don't care, but I personally do care a lot, and I will do anything to keep my people happy. And I think that's why the business is so healthy, because I want them to be happy in whatever journey they start with me.
Yeah.
We decided to repurpose content because between the membership and between the YouTube channel, we've probably got more than 700 videos, something silly like that. And I said, I don't even remember what I created. I swear I don't know. Whenever I see a video, I'm like, did I do that? Wow, that was very good. So we decided to give ourselves a little bit of space and a little bit of credit, because the amount of stuff that we have created is absolutely incredible, but also to show, to find the way to repurpose with value. It's not just a repurposing video, it's how can I add more value to everything that I've done. To me and to Jacopo is giving value. So we started gathering videos that I created, putting it together. So if it was a bar, if it was a center, if it was a stretching, teaching people how to work out, and especially teaching people how they can achieve small
gains.
Yeah, small wins within 15 minutes. You know, if they did everything my way. It's like, I know that it works, put it into practice and it will work. So at the moment we are repurposing the content that I don't remember I created. So I'm sure people have not seen it. And we're making we're making this out there. We're putting this out there so they can learn something on top of it. So we can both live our life, because we wanted to create a business and a channel that didn't actually enslave us into being seated in front of a computer or being in one place, because otherwise Jacopo could have stayed in a cubicle working in a dark place, and I could have just stayed in a theater. You know, that was the whole point. We wanted to create something that could give something else, something out, but also that could give back. So this is why the YouTube channel is still alive. This is why we keep on thinking how we can help people out there and how we can make them happy and feel part of a community that is bigger than themselves.
Yeah. There's so much to unpack in there, and I'm not sure I'll be able to unpack all of it in this call. But some of the things that stood out to me was the community element. There's so much online these days. I can't remember the last time I just purchased something that didn't have any community element or live element in it, because I think there needs to be a healthy blend of live and or community with recorded content, which I think is still great, but there needs to be a blend. And then the other thing is like designing your business to fuel your lifestyle, right? That's what I'm trying to do, is not be a slave, not, leave your day job and then sit behind a laptop for even longer, which is what I see a lot of people do. And I hear the struggles there. So congratulations on the channel. Where can people find the channel? What's the channel called?
So the dancing channel is called Lazy Dance Tips. And obviously now we are trying to help ourselves again back in the days, because I think this is a recurring thing. Helping ourselves. So this is your new,
this is your new program or your new challenge.
The new challenge, because this is a challenge that we said, okay, I'm sure we can make it work, knowing all the mistakes that we've made throughout time with the very first channel, to help ourselves create to be profitable. Like, we want to help all those
Yeah.
talents out there that have the talents, that have the skills, that have everything, that whatever it takes. Because remember, creating a business, it takes a lot of grit, like anything, and you need to be prepared to bash your head against the wall and start again. And so this channel is
So
called
you decided
now,
to start a second business and a second channel, right?
Yes,
Because you weren't busy
one
enough.
was enough. Yeah, you know, it was actually Jakob's thing first, and I said, well, I really want to be part of it too.
And so
I
the
can
next
give you
channel
my
is
insights. It's called Profitable Talents.
amazing. So basically helping people with online business. So sharing your story again, but then helping them with more of the structure and the strategy, so that you didn't
Correct.
have when you very first started that you wish you
No.
had. So
See,
yeah,
told
so
you, it's a recurrent thing.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'll link both of those channels up in the notes. But if anyone's interested in, one, learning ballet online, lazy dancer tips, and then two, how to put a YouTube channel and build a business off the back of it, it's Profitable Talents. So yeah, just conscious of time. Is there anything we missed out, or is there any message you want to give anyone that is thinking about starting or has started, is a little bit messy, that is thinking about YouTube, not sure about YouTube? What would you say to someone in your shoes back in the day?
Go with YouTube. As hard it is, I think as hard as it is, it's one of the platforms that will give you most satisfaction. It is a slow burn, but it's a flame that will never stop. It's a flame that will be found over and over again, and you have the possibility to share your knowledge, save someone from mistakes, and maybe fulfill their dreams. Whatever it is, I prefer it because it's long format, which means that people take the time to sit down and listen to you. And you need to remember that they are dedicating you that time. So try to solve that problem that they've asked, and give them all the tools possible to succeed in life. This is what I loved about YouTube. I don't have a love so big like for any other platform. I don't like fast. I never liked the fast pace of any other social media platform. So go for YouTube. It takes time, but it's so worth it. Totally worth the whole munching on stones, that I say, because that's exactly what's going to be most of the times. You go, why am I doing this? It's so worth it. So worth it.
Amazing.
Keep at it. Keep going.
Consistency. Yeah. Amazing stuff. Well, yeah, thank you very much for your time on the call and your words of wisdom. I'm sure people watching this are going to be either inspired to start dancing or to start creating a business around their superpowers. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to meet up in person again soon. And yeah, thank you so much for your time on the call.
Thank you so much, Tim.
So that's it. Hopefully you found this interview with Alessia helpful and giving you that motivation or inspiration that you'll need to actually start your online business or start that YouTube channel. If you want to know how I built this entire online business, I have actually put together this in a free workshop for you. Head to timpeakman.com/workshop to get access to this free and on-demand training today. That link once more, timpeakman.com/workshop, and I look forward to seeing you again on another video soon.